Welcome back to the African Village Stories with Feli, where we talk about things that are happening in the African village, that is Vipingo. So, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. If you are a returning subscriber, you know how we do it here, like and share the video. Yes, today Claris is doing something interesting, very interesting, yeah? She's not just using a modern electric oven to bake the bread. Instead, she's going back to the traditional way of cooking. We've seen this before when she was working in the African Village Life channel, where she was using the traditional way to bake bread for the family and also scones. And honestly, when the first time that I saw this oven, I was always curious of how the bread is going to turn out. Yeah. It's made from mud, and as you can see, James was busy making the fire, as always has been happening with the couples. Yes, we normally see it happening with the Toya, we normally see it happening with the Baba Chogo. Yeah, the men, they make the fire, and today James has done that. Yeah, and the oven needs to be very hot. You can see the fire is up, the flames are up. Yeah, look at those flames. Yes, and of course, maybe at this point you can wonder, isn't the fire too hot? Yeah, probably you are thinking, Clarice should be just be careful with the bread. Is the bread not going to burn out? Yeah, because with a modern oven, of course, you know that it's simply easy to use and you just need to set the temperature. But here, there's no button to press. You just have to know the fire. You know how to, you know when the oven is hot enough, and this makes the whole cooking experience a bit different and quite interesting. While James is busy with the fire, Clarice, on the other hand, she's making the dough. And look at her, yeah? She has her hands right inside, making sure that everything comes together properly. And this is the part where the bread will start to take, to start to take shape. There's also something very nice about watching the food being prepared this way because everything is simple. Of course, this is kind of different from what we were used to in the previous employment because in the previous employment you would see the couple cooking while the construction was taking place. But for now, it's only just the couple cooking. Yeah, they have the ingredients there. Clarice is using her hands to mix the flour and everything, and the traditional oven is waiting outside. Yeah, as you can see, the fire is lighting up. Yeah, and the teamwork here is amazing. Okay, they both have a job to do, and when Clarice finishes, she prepares the dough for the baking. And you look at the big round piece. Yeah, how she carefully works on the surface and getting it ready to place in the oven. And I you could be curious at this point, yeah, and whether the bread will come out beautiful, yeah, or whether the fire is very hot to burn it out, yeah, because of course we are still thinking about the fire at this point. It looks really hot, yeah. So of course, Clarice has everything under control because it's not the first time that she's doing this. And at this moment, you've been waiting for the bread goes into the fire, yeah. And she's not just waiting around and for the bread to bake because she's also preparing some other small pieces of dough. And as you can see, she's making some scones for the children. And I love this because now there are two different things that are being prepared. The big bread is baking in the oven, and she's preparing the small scones. Yeah, you can look at how she's making them into little balls. Yeah, they are small and nicely shaped. Yeah, she adds some sesame seeds, which makes them look even more interesting. Yes, and now comes another surprise. She's not just using the oven to bake it. She's going to use a traditional cooking jiko. Uh, I know maybe if you're not from East Africa, you might not know what this is, yeah? But it's like a stove, but now she uses charcoal to cook the scones. So today we are seeing more than just the traditional cooking methods, yeah? The bread going into the oven, small scones being baked here and there. And Claris is giving us the full traditional cooking experience, baking experience, as, as it happens in the village. Yeah. And that is how many women in the village do it. They don't have the electric stoves. Yeah. And I thought maybe we were just going to watch her bake one big bread, but now there are also scones. Eh? And where this is happening, the family is waiting, the children are waiting. Yeah. And this makes even more exciting because after all the work is done, the whole family is going to enjoy the food. Yeah, we go back to the bread, look at it. It has turned out to be a beautiful golden brown color. Can you see it? And remember, while we were worried about the fire being too hot, Clarice proved us very wrong. The bread looks amazing. Yeah, the sesame seeds on top, and it looks really nice, nice baking. I think that the traditional oven did a very good job. And when you look at the scones too, you look at the little golden pieces. They are looking so good. And honestly, after seeing all this, I'm beginning to understand why Cry is like this oven outside here. Yeah. And it may not be modern. Yeah. It may not even be controllable. I mean, the heat cannot be controlled there. It's not possible to do that. Yeah, to set the temperature like the modern ones, but people have their own skills and experience. They know how to work around the fire, they know how to prepare the food, they know when the food is ready. And Clarice has been doing this for a while, and she's still coming up with something so delicious for the family, preparing the flour and making the fire, baking the bread, preparing the scones, and it's quite an experience, of course. And I really enjoyed watching James and Clarice working together. The teamwork was amazing. Yeah, James handled the fire so well. Clarice handled the food, and together they created a beautiful meal for their children. And now maybe the most important question maybe would be left asking ourselves is how does it taste? Yeah, because when you look at food that is so beautiful, we all know the real test is the taste. Yeah. And looking at the bread and those cones, I really hope that the family enjoyed every bite. For me, this was a beautiful reminder that sometimes the old ways work very well, and you don't need to have anything. You don't need to have a modern kitchen to make good food. Yeah, sometimes all you need is the ingredients, the experience, a hot fire, a traditional oven. Yeah. So, what do you think? Would you eat bread baked in a traditional oven like this? And between the bread and the small scones, which one will you choose? Let me know in the comments. And honestly, Clarice, after seeing the bread, I think you've passed the traditional oven test. Yeah. Until next video, keep enjoying these beautiful African cooking moments. Until next time, goodbye.